Hello, a very good afternoon to you from Hampden Park, where in about 15 minutes from now, the 1984 Skoll Cup Final will get underway. The 39th League Cup Final in all, and I'm delighted to have with me in the commentary position the manager of Aberdeen Football Club, Mr. Alec Ferguson, who, before the afternoon starts and the prizes are being handed out, our crew have awarded them the tie of the year. Look at that, Alec. You must have bought that especially for the occasion.
Well, we're not in the final actually, so I'm going to win something right away. So I thought the spectacular colours in this tie were just going to do it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's the only colour about the stadium at the moment, even though the bands are playing in the background. It is the most abysmal day. It's been raining heavily in Glasgow for the past couple of hours, and obviously, particularly the Dundee United supporters are going to be drenched by the end of the afternoon because they don't have cover at their end. I would imagine, Alec, that even though we have a tricky surface, and there's a shot of some of it, we have a tricky surface at Hampden Park, that might add to the excitement.
Oh yes, I don't think it'll do the game any harm whatsoever. What's a bit of the giving the ground makes it unsure for defenders. It helps forwards to attack defenders. So that should add to the excitement of the game. I'm quite certain that'll help it.
No, I know it's very difficult in a day like this, but do you get the cup final atmosphere? I know you would love to be down in the dugout.
Yeah.
At the moment, to be honest, it's difficult to feel that.
Yeah, but I think what's helped is the pre-match entertainment has been excellent. I think that Skoll have worked hard at promoting the game, and they've done better than I've seen it for years, you know, in the Scottish final, you know. Excellent.
Yeah. Right, well, there's a Dre down there. They're doing their very best, as you said, to make it extremely colourful under very difficult circumstances.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, we're very comfortable. We're actually getting a little bit heat from the television lights up there, but think of these rather charming girls down there who might end up in the Royal Infirmary with pneumonia or whatever. And there's a shot of Hampden Park. As I said, it's not at its best today, unfortunately, because of the weather. The wind and the rain sweeping in from between these floodlights. You can see they're straight towards the famous East End, the Mount Florida, the end of Hampden Park, which is populated normally by very big support, but today the Dundee United supporters in one end of it, and I think they're going to be very wet indeed.
Oh yeah, it's a pity for them. Travelling all the way from Dundee in itself, it's a handicap, isn't it?
Well, I don't think the crowd is going to be as big as the last time they met, and that was in the League Cup final in 1981. A rather dramatic game. Let's refresh your memory. Let's have a look at the first goal in that game, which I think typifies the way Dundee United play. They're extremely good on the counter-attack. They've got a very volatile attack, and it showed in this particular instance with Ralph Milne.
Still nothing each, and David Cooper, of course, will rifle this in with his left foot. A lot of hands up there asking for the ball. Well, that's a really very poor free kick. Should be some angry players about that. That will go diagonally, and Milne has the speed. Jordan going across them. Great goal! 1-0 for Dundee United. 3 minutes of the second half gone, and that is so typically United.
Well, that was the first one, Alec. They've in fact scored a lot of goals against Aberdeen like that too, haven't they?
Oh, don't mention it. Well, that is typical United, and they support very quickly. They have the engines in their team to get up and down the park. If you notice the actual free kick that Rangers took, it was Ralph Milne who was defending the free kick in front of David Cooper.
And ended up scoring.
And then he sprints forward to support Paul Sturrock.
And that little pirouette by Sturrock, one of the viewers saw that. I think we'll see that today as well.
Well, that's Paul Sturrock. You know, he's marvellous at his little turns of his wrong-footed Rangers centre-back and stuck the ball on the opposite side of Cooper, and away the boy goes.
Yeah. Now, there was an incident in this game. This is the second sequence they'll show you, which might have killed the game stone dead for Rangers. And there was a lot of controversy about it.
Yeah.
We'll say nothing about it in advance. Let the viewer have a look and see why this goal was chalked off.
McDonald turns brilliantly, but runs into bother. He's simply being outnumbered, and a trifle greedy there. Holt is making the run in the middle as Sturrock turns in. He'll try and chip again, I'm sure. Oh, what a goal! No, offside. Offside is given. Oh dear. The linesman had his flag up. Well, that was a superbly struck ball by Sturrock. I mean, look at the way it went in. He turned the defence and he let fly. It almost took the stanchion away, but the linesman here had his flag up.
Well, Alec, that's a wee bit like knowing you won the pools and then discovering you've got the coupon in the pocket.
Paul Sturrock, is either going to hang the linesman or he's going to hang John Hope for running offside. I think he probably was.
Let's have a look at the very closely again. I think we can just show that. There is Holt in that position.
Yeah, he's almost directly in front of Jim Stewart, actually. In line with the ball and the goalkeeper anyway. And unfortunately, a goal of that quality is disallowed.
Yeah, and it was a marvellous strike by Sturrock, which shows you the threat, because he is back in form now, shows you the threat he'll pose today.
He's the one that's big, United's big hope. It must be. He's returned to form after a bad season last year. He's got his old verve back. He's got his sharpness back. He's got his courage. Is marvellous, as you know. He's a really brave player. He will be the one that will cause Rangers the problems. Right,
well, of course, everybody knows that Rangers play right to the end of the game. They looked as if they had lost the cup final, but then came a goal that put them back into it. And we're talking about key players, and there is one here quite obviously you're going to be mentioning in the next 90 minutes, and you'll see him scoring now.
Cooper shaping to take this. I try and chip it in, and he does, he scored! Cooper equalises for Rangers with almost 16 minutes of the game remaining. And there is the Rangers support erupting.
Well, an excellently taken free kick. One wonders, though, if there was a goalkeeping error there at the same time.
I think that the main fault was the line-up. The defensive wall broke. There was a movement in there. It wasn't a straight line. I think someone round about the centre of the wall moved and
distracted the goalkeeper, maybe.
Well, no, I think it gave David Cooper an easier target to hit. You know, and of course Hamish is depending on his defensive wall to stop out straight direct hits like that. And I think it was a direct hit. I don't think there was any tremendous height in the ball.
Now, talking about Hamish McAlpin, quite obviously Jim McLean, looking to the future, had decided to change the goalkeeper, Billy Thompson being brought in, but Hamish McAlpin finds himself in another cup final again. Is it just a case that the defence found it difficult to have this transition between Hamish, who's been playing now for something 15 years there, and an entirely fresh face?
Well, no, apart from his goalkeeping ability, Hamish was an influence on him and the rest of the players. They looked to Hamish to be the influence and organising them and talking them through games. Billy Thompson's younger. He's just come to the club. It's a new scene for him. And of course, Hamish has been there so long that they're bound to miss him. No matter how good a goalkeeper Billy Thompson is, they're bound to miss Hamish.
Right, and let's see the winner of that 1981 League Cup final. A very dramatic 1-2. Coming when we all thought the game might be going to either extra time or to a second game. And then suddenly, this.
Cooper with it. Hegarty. There's Redford. Tries a chip, and it's there! Redford, a brilliant goal. Two minutes to go, and an incredible goal by the substitute, Ian Redford. And that looks as if it could take the cup to Ibrox.
Well, I gave the credit entirely to the player. He was under pressure and he very coolly chipped everybody, including a very experienced goalkeeper. But there were some people who thought it was slightly lucky. Where do you place
yourself? I don't think he tried it.
You don't?
No way. No, I think that he was put under pressure with the United midfield player coming out to attack the ball, that he was left with little options, and it was a potluck shot. I thought Hamish was a bit down. No, I thought he should have got that.
Now, you recently had a disappointment in Europe when you were knocked out of European Cup. How do you think the respective morales will be in that United had an excellent result and Rangers didn't? How will they be feeling about that? Will it have an effect?
I don't think the only effect I see is that United will gain confidence from the result midweek. They're beginning to this game much more confident than they have been recently, where their league form has been not so good. It's not the standard they've been looking for. As far as Rangers are concerned, there's no way that will affect them, the defeat, because the Rangers support will be behind them today. But there's no way the Rangers...
Well, you can hear them now.
They're marvellous. There's no way they're going to reject their team in cup final day. And that's the big thing that they've got going for them.
Do you think Dundee United might suffer from the fact that they have the smaller support here at Hampden Park?
Oh, yeah,
they're an experienced team. I mean, I've seen them playing in hostile stadiums abroad.
It won't matter.
Well, I'll tell you what, Alec, we'll
wait
for that reply in a second. I think the teams are about to come out. There it is. Look at the rain lashing down there. And here they come.
to a huge roar, mainly from the spectators away to the left, the Rangers support. That's the ones not undercover, but in there, the bulk of this huge Rangers support. Both teams showing only one change from the teams who started off in Wednesday night. There's Dundee United, and David Dodds, who was ineligible to play in that game in Austria in midweek, is back in the team for BD, and that is not at all surprising because David Dodds has scored more goals than any other United player in the history of the club. A prolific scorer who asked for a transfer at the start of the season. Didn't quite come off, and then we heard rumours about a Celtic bid, but there he is, still in the tangerine jersey. Rangers with John McClelland in the number 3 position, and I have not the slightest doubt you'll be seeing John McClelland play one of his last games ever for Rangers. His contract expires in the first week in November, and I think he'll be taking off after that. And although there was a little speculation about whether Jock Wallace would play Alan McCoist or not, after what was a very bad miss for his club on Wednesday night, there is a vote of confidence. He's in at number 10 with Ian Ferguson at number 9. He, of course, was a substitute on Wednesday night. Referee Brian McGinley, of vast experience. Brian, of course, is no stranger to cup finals. He's done 5 major cup finals, 19 full internationals, 47 European club ties. So there's little time for hobbies. In just a few seconds, Ali McCoist will get the 84 final underway. Roars of expectancy from the crowd. These two players, between them, have cost Rangers something in the region of £450,000. Brian McGinley, punctilious as ever, right on the dot. The cup final is on its way. High one towards McCoist. Richard Gough is there. Slight touch, and Neri touching at that. David Neri and McAlpin played so often together, not only in domestic football but European games. Touch there by Eamon Bannon. Dawson. Patterson. Free kick. Right on the halfway line. It's a ball hard in. The winners for this competition this afternoon, if there is a completion, will get £10,000 apart from the money they picked up in previous ties. Ferguson. Bannon in cover. Dodds is very greasy and slippy out there, and the footing will be uncertain throughout the game, but particularly at the start. Ferguson. Shoot little touch there. Cooper. Behind it, and there's Ferguson trying to go in. There's Bobby Russell in an offside position. Linesman had his flag up right away. 26-year-old Bobby Russell, who I think is one of the key players for Rangers, Alec.
Oh yes, I said that before the game, that Bobby Russell is making good matches. Asking that Eamon Bannon for United and of course they're directly opposed to one another. And I think you'll find as the game goes on, that may be the key issue.
David Dodds. Bannon trying to get on the outside, and I think that'd be another free kick it is. Look at the United supporters in the back.
Is that United have decided tactically to play Morris Malpass against David Cooper wherever he goes. Now this leaves United playing with the 3 centre-backs if David Cooper decides to go deeper in the game.
Well, certainly Rangers got experience of that in Europe, because the Italians are very skilled at close marking to such a degree that I think you would suffer from claustrophobia playing so often against them. Calvin comes out of his penalty area a lot in games, totally fearless. McPherson. The rain is still lashing down. Conditions will be very, very heavy. Ferguson. Redford wanted to go on a run. Ferguson, and again a harsh tackle there. Referee right on the spot. It was Paul Hegarty that time. Fraser to Cooper. Notice Malpass crouching. Ralph Milner's there as well. Cooper dragging him towards the touchline, and he can't get the ball through. Now Ralph Milner. Oh, that's far too adventurous, and I think there's a suspicion of limp about Ralph Milner, who's been having problems with a hamstring. I just thought I detected a limp.
You're right there, Archie. He is limping, and that would be a bad blow to United if that were the case, because if he has hamstring problems, there's no way he could be playing a cup final.
David Dodds. Holt. Manoeuvring in midfield, one of the hardest tacklers in Scottish football, Holt.
Just off the screen, I did notice that Ralph Milner is holding the back of his leg where his hamstring is, and that could be a serious problem for United.
Stunner. Easily brushed away. Fraser going forward. There's Goff. Kirkwood trying to go through with it. And now, clever ball to David Cooper. Free kick. Malpass sliding in late, and Fraser enraged that he couldn't get the ball to take a quick free kick.
United have the subs warming up now, Archie, and there's a bit of activity down the dugout.
Well, I must say, this must have been a calculated gamble on John McLean's part.
He's going to come off, I think.
Well, that's a great pity.
Yeah, Stuart Beattie is in the dugout now.
Well, I wonder just how much of a gamble it was. You said, I think you pointed out that perhaps he should not play in a cup final if there's any doubt about him, but, I mean, literally, after just, 5 minutes.
Yep, almost 6 minutes now.
That's a goal kick.
Well, I think what will happen here is that they'll push Eamon Bannon forward as a round the corner winger on the left side and play Dodds and Sturrock through now, if that were to happen, Archie.
Oh, well, I would think that's the hardest one to date. And there have been a few beauties. Certainly a warning to David McPherson. And he'll stand no nonsense, this referee. Likes the big occasion, Brian McGinley. You want to be strictly accurate. There's about 6.5 minutes gone. And in the media prize for guessing which time was the first goal, I've been given 13 minutes, 20 seconds on it. We'll keep an eye on a watch for that.
Yep.
Good move by Holt. He might just get his shot in. Oh, picked up by Fraser. No real flow in the game yet. The tackling's being hard, footing uncertain, and there's Ali McCoist. McClellan, Cooper, Malpass in hard. We'll be keeping our eye on Ralph Milner to see if there are any developments there, as you say.
Yeah, there's a lot of instructions going out to Ralph Milne from the dugout, and the player, I think, is prepared to go on with it. He's signalling that way.
Here's Dawson. Far too slow for Rangers. Very uncertain looking position he was in. Billy Kirkwood, that might not make it. It doesn't. Russell came in. Free kick. Bannon. Stoddart. Patterson goes with them. Sticks his foot in. Craig Patterson, bought from Hibs a couple of seasons ago, had bother with a knee injury and certainly reasserted himself this season. Sliced that ball and anything else, Fraser. Trying to find Russell, I think. Dawson totally missing that. McPherson. McClellan. Well, I kept mind the referee when Peggotty made his jump, but here's Davy Cooper. Playing it safe. Davy, of course, is an extremely one-footed player, but then so is Liam Brady, and they're both very excellent. Ferguson to McCoist. Bit of support from Redford. To Ferguson. To Cooper. Redford on the run on the left. David Neddy goes with him, and that's an excellent tackle. Well, I don't think David Neddy was complaining about the decision in the sense that some Rangers players thought it might have been a free kick. It was, in fact, an excellent tackle.
John Clark is going to come on and substitute for Ralph Milne. And obviously a straight replacement there.
Well, I just spotted that John Clark is coming on. And
I thought they may have brought on Stuart Beattie, you know, but Jim knows better. He knows his own players. It's a big task now for the young boy Clark. It's 19 years of age to come on a cup final. But he is a proven goal scorer this season.
Out on the far side, Eamon Bannon. Hamish McAlpin, 36 years of age. Peter McCloy, 38 years of age at the other end. Great entertainers. Like Bob Hope and George Burns, I think will go on forever. Neddy. McPherson should cut it up, but Cooper is in. That's a mistake. Paul Stoddart with a great chance. Dodges inside. Not all that far away. Great chance for United from that very bad defensive lapse. Now that was, I think, the conditions more than anything else. There you are, Alec. That's swept down there.
Well, it is Stuart Beattie is coming on. I was right in the first thing. I feel that that's the one to bring on. And Paul Sturrock there broke away from a defensive mistake. You know, it's always a problem, actually, when a forward goes back into a defensive position. And you see what happened there.
Well, it's a very good break indeed. I think a little unfortunate for Dodge. You could see him coming in very hard, and he was just away from it. So, free kick to Rangers inside Dundee United's half. And Beattie is on, as Alex said.
Yep.
As he anticipated, Patterson goes after that. The shot by Redford. And how dangerous it's going to be for these defences in these conditions. The ball very, very slippy indeed.
Yeah, just
Stoddart on the break. McPherson goes with them, and that's a goal kick. Well, I was mentioning the Dundee United goalkeeper, Hamish McAlpin. Well, Peter McCloy beats him by a couple of years, 38 years of age.
Well, you know, Big Peter, I played with Big Peter in a Scottish League game in 1967, actually. Do you know that?
Well, why aren't you still playing now? McCoist. Cooper brought it down, brilliant play, and I think a push. He let it go past them, was going to follow it up, but I think that was distinctly a push. Hegarty. Yes, that ball has gone out. David McPherson, in fact, played very well for Rangers, but in a different position. That's the substitute. And the scoreline at the moment. Beattie. Yeah, well, that is a very bad blow for United. I mean, Ralph Milne on his game. Well, we saw him in the pre-match goals, scoring a pre-match piece that we had, scoring some marvellous goals, and I think it will affect United. No question about that.
Actually, I'm not so sure it will affect United that much daily. I think it may be a good thing for them, in fact. The reason being, I think that if they can get Bannon forward the park a little, they can give Rangers a lot of problems right now when he's appearing.
Well, we shall see now. Bannon. Dawson went with him and Davy Cooper back in that defensive position. Risky kind of ball there by Bobby Russell, across his own penalty area. Ferguson, picked up by Fraser, runs right into trouble and goes right through, to the consternation of the Dundee United players, and the referee very quick there again. That is the free kick. Startup. Beattie. Bannon. Billy Kirkwood made a reverse run away behind him. Ball Sturrock. Easily away by McClelland, but Rangers missing out midfield at the moment, and there's Cooper. Russell on the run. Little too hard with that, and David Neary read it very well. Just came across, plugged the gap. Neary, who's gained more caps than any other United player, 25 in all. He's been 14 years with Dundee United.
The game has gone 15 minutes now, Archie, and Rangers are still finding their feet here. They're giving the main marking job in Sturrock to young McPherson at the back. It's a big task for the boy.
So here's Hegarty. A little bit strong, and McPherson has time. Oh, McCloy had to bend down very quickly indeed. That breaks very kindly to McCoy and goes nowhere from him. And pulled back by Dawson, David Dodds. That's very wide. Richard Gough. In steps McClelland. Nice ball to the side, good play by Rangers, and very good tackling again by Holt. They are simply not letting Rangers settle. Ian Redford had no time to look up. Still the rain lashes down in one of the most miserable days I can recall for a cup final in a long time. Touched out there by the Rangers player. 30 United. We've gone something like 17 minutes, just over 17 minutes. That's still the score. Quick 1-2 passing there by United, trying to keep possession. Coys neatly to the side, now Fraser for Rangers. The break is on. Bobby Russell away wide. It's meant for McCoy's, but easily mopped up by this defence in Redford. Well, I thought he was going to win that ball, then it got very awkward for him. Holt in a very good position. A dreadful ball. I mean, he had Paul Sturrock away wide on the right with a great opportunity of going straight into the goal mouth. Well, that's dangerous. McPherson to Cooper. Excellent play by Cooper. Beattie handled that. Referee waving play on now. Ali McCoy's doesn't quite get there. That throw-in so quickly taken, he couldn't get across. Hegarty, who was signed from Hamilton Accies as a striker, couldn't make it in that position, and it's been a blessing in disguise for United. Fraser breaks free. Russell. Fraser. United have got back, marshaled themselves very well. That is meant for Cooper. Nowhere near him, and Maurice Malthus. It's a very simple task. McPherson. Holt. Very impetuous quality in the game at the moment, Alec.
Yes,
very quick passing.
I mean, it's only now that Rangers, through Cammy Fraser, have shown any authority at all. He put his foot in the ball there and tried to get a little composure to it. And Rangers are going to need this, because if they don't get an influence in the game soon, they may start to run away from them.
Cooper, free kick. Maurice Malthus, who was a student at the Dundee Commercial College when he graduated, he gave up his academic career for the future anyway. He's now full-time. Here's Fraser to Dawson. Better ball by Fraser, putting the passes together. Well, Dawson simply got rid of that. Nothing terribly constructive about it. 20 minutes gone, there's still no scoring. The form of David Dodds there, who has scored 126 goals for United, would you believe? Amazing record for the man.
I think, although Rangers played some nice football, that what they need to do is to get the ball in the penalty box a little bit more. Start giving United some threats, which they're not doing at this moment in time in the game. They give away a silly free kick there. United have been the bigger threat in the game so far, actually. They've been more positive, more aggressive towards the game.
So, Hamish McAlpin. A game that reminds me very much of the 1981 Cup final at the moment, because United did exactly this. David Neri. Hegarty. Well, he pointed, I think, to David Dodge to run for that. Slight misunderstanding. Been a great captain, held the League Cup aloft twice, both times at Dens Park. John McClelland. 6 weeks from now, you never know where he'll be, but I doubt if he'll be at Ibrox. Slithers away. Goff. United have a lot of players there, but they can't make contact, and it's still United. Bobby Russell lying very deep indeed. McClelland. Difficult ball to give McCoy's. I think it was always on that Hegarty was getting there first. It's McClelland. Oh, definite push by Bobby Russell, free kick. Russell, I think, is one of the players who make Rangers tick along with Cooper. I mean, I think he has his off days, certainly, but he injects a little rhythm and style into Rangers midfield. Alec.
Interesting point about the game is we spoke about before about the potential match winners. We spoke about Cooper for Rangers and Sturrock for United. And strangely, the two have been very subdued. Obviously, there's an emphasis put on by both teams that they don't get room to play, and this is what's happening in this game. McPherson against Sturrock and Malpat against Cooper.
Oh, here's Cooper now. Cooper, and that's a brilliant ball. Russell after it. Richard Gough with him. Doesn't have much support, gets it from Dawson. Difficult curling ball, and Cooper can't get any freedom for a shot.
You see the one spark of class from that ball from Cooper, Archie, and you see the havoc it caused. A marvellous ball.
The kind of pass that would split any defence. However, the United defence remain quite calm about it all. Great advantage of United is the tremendous experience the central defenders have had both at European and international level. Much more so than Rangers' central defence. Now here's John McClelland. Hesitant, gets away with it that time, and Redford, I think that may be Rangers' throw. It is. Cooper to take this. No. Trots along beside Redford. McClelland shouting for it and gets it. Ferguson goes. Bobby Russell, and that's a side net. And that is the first attack that Rangers have really launched on this Dundee United goalmouth. And Russell has the ability to crack them in as he did here. Now watch him come through very quickly. He hits a good long ball, Bobby Russell, Alec.
Oh yes. Now we'll see, they got the ball in the penalty box to try and put him under pressure, and they got that from a crumb off a United defender. Marvellous will hit ball. Unfortunate, they hit the side net.
Well, at least it's proved that there are Rangers supporters here. They're beginning to sing again, and we've about 20 minutes of the first half remaining. Richard Gough. Holtz. Fraser picks it up very well, charging forward. Redford. Cooper. Back comes the United defence. Fraser. That's Ferguson. Tempting the player forward. And although it's David Cooper who's in there, there's little chance of him beating Hamish McCalvin. Cooper not being noted as a great header of the ball. Still nothing each.
I always made this point in their own games that a shot at goal inspires you. That shot from Russell has now sparked Rangers off into a bit of form now.
Bannon. Well, United are picking up the habit, Alec.
I think it does a lot for your players. It gives them confidence, it gets the crowd behind you a little. And let's have some more.
There we are, the Rangers supporters protected by that huge enclosure. Difficult to judge what the crowd is at the moment. I might get figures later on. Almost through to Redford, and that will be a booking. That is the first booking of the match, and it'll be for the Dundee United captain, Paul Hegarty. Alec?
Yeah, I could have no complaints there. A rash one. Here it is, yeah, you see it, he goes in late, he knew. I don't think Paul could have any complaints there, actually, could he?
And a free kick in an interesting position.
Well, Hamish will be having memories about this one, I think, eh?
Well, here's Cooper now. Before the start of the commentary, we saw the free kick goal. Fraser is there, and Cooper. Fraser, of course, can really hit them. There he is, he comes up, and there's a deflection. It's a corner kick. Now, Fraser is one of the best strikers of a ball in the game from that particular distance, and I've seen him do that in the past for Dundee and for Hearts. But here's a corner kick. Here's Russell. Away it goes. And that's, I think, a throw to United coming off a Rangers head.
Yes, I thought it came off a Rangers head myself there.
Cooper in the middle. Russell, and I think another free kick. Very awkward tackle. And Cooper has deserted the left wing spot. Is now beginning to wander a bit. And this might be to some effect. Alec.
Well, I like to see David Cooper in the Nationals team stay out wide on the left. He seems to, at Rangers, play this free role. And it's got its rewards at times, but he is a left-footed winger and they're very, very scarce.
David Cooper shaping up to take it, but he has Redford and Dawson. And away to the side, there's McClellan. Not quite accurate enough. It's a goal kick. The pressure is off United. And Rangers have been threatening from the free kick situation. Boris Malpas is, in fact, a very good marker in club football, Alec.
Yes, oh yes, very, very good young player. He's going to be an excellent player in the next 2 or 3 years. David Cooper is a hot handful, you know.
Well, we're getting some song to pierce the gloom. When I say gloom, the rain is lashing down. Feel sorry for the spectators who don't have cover.
Oh yes, United support. It's a pity for them. And of course, on the West Terrace, the East Terrace, is it?
That's a free kick.
And the North Terrace, sorry. Some Rangers supporters are also going to be drenched tonight.
David Dodge, it's not a bad ball. Well, the referee indicating that there was a dive. Certainly United are a bit concerned about that. Well, we can have a look at that again. Up it went, and watch the jostling there. Well, I think maybe Sturrock just slightly threw himself.
I think we know Paul a little bit, don't we? A word about the referee. Brian McGinley's handled the game well up to this moment in time, Archie. Nothing controversial. He's acted when needed.
Fraser getting a slightly lucky break there, wanting to throw the long ball, and he does. McCoy can't keep it in. Fraser tries to hook it away, but it's Goff for United. That was a very casual push forward there by David McPherson, the young professional youth player. Breaks well for Dodds. The neat 1-2, and Bobby Russell comes back. Very cool player, Russell, in circumstances like that. We've already seen him having a very good shot at goal And then that neat little defensive move. Golf. Kirkwood. There's Bannon. An interesting point to note about this match, Alec, is that from that 1981 League Cup final, Dundee United really only basically have two changes, whereas Rangers are totally transformed.
Yes, that's right. Morris Malpass, I don't think, played in the 1981 final. Nor did Richard Goff. Did Richard Goff play?
No, but I think these are the only two that didn't. There's a touch there, I think, by the very man we're talking about. There's a big man who was born in Stockholm of Scottish parents, who moved to South Africa. Back he came for a trial with the Rangers as a very young man. They didn't really fancy him, the club he's playing against now, and he ends up not only with Dundee United, but with the international squad as well. Play very scrappy at the moment. And although the service may not be the most exciting you would ever get, I don't think we've really been seeing much of the front runners of Rangers. Hardly done anything. Here's Bannon. There's a bad kick out. Straight to Ferguson. Good tackle there by Goff, who went right across. There's to Fraser, but well read by Bannon. Stoddart. Oh, superbly tackled. McPherson came off that very well indeed. It looked to me, Alec, as if he was going to be beaten.
Yeah, he's got big long caliper legs, hasn't he? He always gets a stretch out an extra 2 or 3 inches with him. Actually, the boy's done marvellously well. He's contained Stirrup as well as anyone could.
As I said, he had a different role for Rangers as a free man in the San Siro, but as a tight mark, he's doing very well again. Russell, oh, that's dangerous, and Paul Sturrock was offside. Now, Sturrock is deadly from that, and there was no way he was going to miss it, but when the ball eventually got through to him, as you can see now, from that very risky run, he was about a yard offside.
They can't make another decision with that one.
Here's David Dodds. And for all the criticism that has been heaped on Rangers recently because of the current form, they have the best defensive record, losing only 2 league goals, and that of course is an immense improvement on the form from last year. So perhaps in one department there has been an improvement.
Well, you can't fault them defensively today, Archie, but they do require to do something more positive forward the park. At this moment in time, Cammy Fraser's the only influence in their side of any real note.
And it's a free kick to United. There he is, Cammy Fraser. £175,000 worth from Dundee. Patterson watching it, and I think a push by Patterson. Free kick. United wanted to take a quick one. 9 minutes to the half-time whistle. Bannon. Look at Paul Stark, he turns very well. BD! And Dodds, I think, put that in that direction. Cooper, free kick. Bit unfortunate for United that. They really had Rangers under pressure there, and that move that we saw there with Dodds coming across very quickly, I think he was angled the wrong way, or else that might have gone into the net.
Well, he's rushing across towards the ball, and of course it deflects very quickly towards him, but he had no chance to adjust to that.
Fraser. And United really in the past, I'd say 15 minutes, look as though if they're now dealing with anything that Rangers can throw at them up front with the utmost ease. David Dodds, who scored the opening goal when United won the cup against Dundee. That was a marvellous game at Dens Park. Bannon. Boyce slipping more than anything else, and that is a free kick and a booking for Russell. I really totally mistimed that. Totally.
Yeah, the referee's no option. He's got to stamp it. I'm surprised at Bobby Russell. It's not his type of play, but no hesitation, referee there. Quite rightly booked.
Patterson. Malpass goes for a free kick. Brought down by David Cooper. Bit of tangling there. John Holt this time is going to be spoken to by the referee.
Well, see there again, Archie, that is a professional foul, and that should be, there's been some action there, because that's a booking offence as far as I'm concerned.
Well, some people agree with you, they're booing the fact that he wasn't booked, but Rangers get a free kick, and about 5 minutes to go to have time. Goal kick, ending disappointingly for Rangers. Rangers, who have won the League Cup 12 times, they are the record holders, and have had 18 appearances in the League Cup final. It says a lot for their consistency, even though they come through some bad spells.
Yeah, you can't never write them off in a final, can you, Archie?
No, I think one of the special qualities is coming when people, are criticising them, like after Wednesday night when, they didn't really perform all that well, to try to prove something. There he goes after it. Golf was there first. Put to the side by McPherson, and there's Fraser. A bit too hard. The game very much a stalemate. For all that United have had a lot of possession, they haven't in particular threatened the Rangers' goal either.
Well, this is right, correct, Archie. There hasn't been a serious threat at goal all afternoon so far. There's been some good play considering the conditions, which is very difficult out there, and the credit must go to the players. Though you see the instance there where Paul Sturrock slips, it's very treacherous out there.
And he's run that straight out. Four minutes to have time. Still nothing each. Dawson, Ferguson, Russell. Here's David Dodds. Nearly beginning to come forward. Oh, that's a wasted ball. Beattie did well to recover.
You know what surprised me about the game, Archie? I thought in these conditions we may have seen more beaten men, more attackers and more midfield men taking defenders on, because it's ideal for that. It's strange that it hasn't happened, has it?
Oh, well, there's an instance there, the long ball hit there by Malpass. Certainly haven't had a run off either Bannon or David Cooper on the other side. Free kick. Nearly late with his tackle. Ali McCoist is down. Ali McCoist, the leading goal scorer in the League Cup at the moment with 5 goals. And even if nobody else scores, Ali would end up on a holiday in the island of St Kitts in the Caribbean. Lucky man. Oh, beautifully done by Bannon. Now, Sturrock. Patterson giving him no room. Malthus. Holt. Given away there by Neri under pressure. And a bad ball by Patterson. Rangers simply unable at the moment to string the passes together. Just kept in by Sturrock, but forced into that. Russell. McCoist. Here's Cooper. If in doubt, give it to David Cooper as part of their philosophy. You'll get no support there. 2 minutes to half time. Still nothing each. Cooper. Yes, he was brought down. Malthus very close to him again.
Well, this could put a lot of pressure on United here. It's a bad place to lose a free kick.
And Cooper to take it. Surprising one. Tried a near post. With the big men up to. Here's Redford. No power behind that. Russell. Here's Fraser. Redford far too hastily. Russell to Fraser. Dawson to Cooper. Controlled it very well. Here's Redford. Ferguson scores! 1-0 for Rangers. Right on half-time, and to the delight of that huge throng of Rangers supporters, the Glasgow team goes into the lead with Ferguson scoring the kind of goal for which Rangers bought him from Dundee. Not an easy one to take, controlled it and then swept it away. Alec.
Oh yeah, well you see it was a little bit of class of Cooper. Nice ball in, then to Redford who squares it to Ferguson. Oh, what a hit. Yeah, it's a good goal. He took it well, the lad.
And there goes the half-time whistle. It was that close. And there's little doubt that the hero of the support you're seeing away down at the far end is Ian Ferguson, who hadn't done all that much in the game up till then, but I suppose one of the reasons you have a striker like that is that even though he may be having a rather mediocre game, he can certainly produce one out of the bag, which he certainly did. Bobby Russell with a wave to somebody in the stand there, exuding some confidence. And here we go again, Alec. We're talking about Cooper's part.
I love a little ball in. Redford got a good bit of composure there. Slips in and Ferguson does the rest.
Get the impression that Hamish McAlpin might have thought he would have swept it to the right-hand side of him.
Well, it's so well hit, I don't think Hamish could have done anything about it anyway. I mean, straight away, it's almost, 6 inches off the post. Maybe a foot at the most, but a well-hit shot.
Well, we can see from way behind, a camera right at the top, what it was that Ferguson did with Cooper in conjunction. Beautiful touch to the side there. There wasn't much to aim at with a player coming into his left elbow, but that was swept off. And here we have a sight of Hampden Park that just before half-time we felt that people would be feeling fairly miserable, but now that support down there are beginning to sing. I must say, Alec, that even though Rangers are in the lead by 1-0, I wouldn't have thought that the play was at all inspiring through the first half.
Well, you see, that's the funny thing about football, that in a cup final, whoever gets to get the first goal. And you know, Rangers have not done a lot of attacking. I think it was their first direct shot on target in the game. Hamish hasn't had a save, but there they go, 1-0 up at the interval.
Well, if you to pick out the kind of strategy of your life, because you know Jim McLean very well at half-time, what sort of thing might he try to do now to pull this game back? I mean, there's a long way to go yet.
Well, I think he's going to make a decision about where Beattie's playing and where Bannon's playing. I think it's Beattie has tried to replace Milne in a forward position, but is maybe a little bit lost. He's not accustomed to that position. I think maybe Jim will withdraw Beattie into a right midfield position or left midfield position and push Bannon up a bit to try and attack Dawson.
Well, I'll tell you what, Alec, let's have a look at that goal again. I just wonder from a defensive point of view, although there was a bit of skill involved, any defensive defects here?
Well, the only defensive defects is that Paul Hergett is left in a situation where he can't tackle because there's no support beside him. Richard Gough came in a bit late there because he was out wider with McCoy's, and eventually had to come in because Ferguson's lined up a shot. But definitely Paul Hergett was left in a no-man's situation where he couldn't tackle and had to do his best to jockey in position. David Neary was forward of him, which left him bare at the back.
Well, obviously, as a Rangers manager down there, he would be delighted with the situation at the moment. But as you pointed out, they were only getting something in midfield midway through the half from Fraser.
Fraser has been the big success for Rangers the whole game. He's been a big influence on them. He's wanted to do well here. Showed great, tremendous urge for the match and appetite. And I think that in a cup final, you need someone to take the game with the scruff of the neck. And Cammy Fraser's attempted this the whole match. He's certainly been a surprise packet in the Rangers team today.
And yet, it had been made quite clear by Rangers themselves that they weren't getting the best out of Cammy Fraser. Does it take a time for certain players to adjust going to a new club?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we find this at Aberdeen that players come in, they take a few months, and it's only natural that players like Ferguson and Fraser going to Rangers will take a bit of time to settle, as is the case with Stuart Beattie, who I think is a very good player too. So he's taken time to settle at United, and the two from Dundee have taken time to settle at Ibrox.
Well, it's certainly the pattern of play was such that I think, if you had to take the statistics of it, Alec, that United had a lot of possession, but that Peter McCloy was a spectator.
Yeah, they haven't threatened. Their main source of attack has been through Paul Sturrock, but Paul Sturrock has been well handled by the boy McPherson. So something's going to happen in other directions. Someone else is now going to take the responsibility of stamping his game and is himself in the game, and that has not happened. David Dodds has not been in the game a lot, and he has now got to be an influence in the team now and give a threat on the other side of the park, as is Eamon Bannon has. Now, obviously, Jim will be talking about these things down there, and I know it'll be very strong words, believe me, but that's going to happen if United have to stand a chance.
Well, some of the bravest people today you can see out there, the regimental band of the 1st Battalion, the Royal Scots, and the 1st Battalion, the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, trying their best to take the crowd's mind off the weather, particularly the ones out in the open. Well, there are the hardy Dundee United supporters. They pay less, in fact, to get on that part of the terracing, but I'm sure they wouldn't have minded paying the extra pound to go way down to the other end for cover. The unfortunate thing about Hampden Park at this present moment in time is it very definitely in transition. There used to be that huge, a little extra bit above there at the Aikenhead Road end. That's been sliced away, and the updating or the modernising of the stadium has cost in the region at the moment about £2.5 million, and some people say, well, really, there's not much we see from it, but they've got to do that before they start producing the other stands and the seats, and ultimately in the year dot maybe we'll have an all-seated and all-covered stadium. And it is a pity in a way, Alec, it's a paradox, is it not, that across the other side of the city there's a stadium that would take 45,000 people, all in comfort and practically all in cover.
Yeah, that's right. That's the common thing, of course, isn't it? All seated stadiums, and well, you see today it's a bit uncomfortable for United supporters and Rangers supporters over the North Terrace.
The band of the 1st Battalion of the Royal Scots, as I said.
I've been given a bit of time to analyse the situation now, Archie. Oh, here is this a goal again? Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bruce's influence there with that long
now
ball.
Just watch what I'm talking about, Archie, when Paul Hergid is left exposed at the back there. David Ayre is forward a little. Nice pass in to Redford. David Ayre tries to get back, Gough tries to get across, and it's in. Well, I was talking about the situation at present. At half-time, trying to analyse what it's going to be like in the second half. I think United will be trying to get men forward to support Sturrock more often and quicker, and I think they'll be asking Eamon, Bannon and Dodds to be a bigger influence in their game the next half. As for Rangers, I think you'll find that they'll grow in confidence now, Archie.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's a cup of tea coming up for you. Let's listen to the band for a few seconds, okay?
Right, oh sorry.
Well, here's a shot by Bobby Russell. Quick snap one, really rattled it in. That plus the goal that we've just seen is about all that caused Hamish McAlpin any anxiety at all. Getting back to Hampden Park and the situation there's no question that people want to see Hampden modernised, brought up to date, with all kinds of facilities, because it is not just a football stadium, it is a shrine for so many folk. As I said, I'll try and get an idea of the attendance. What it does do for you is give you an idea of what the weather is coming towards Glasgow. We're looking right away down to the west side of the city there. Well, rows of anticipation again. Team's about to come out, the Ball Boys. Queen's Park Ball Boys. Out they come. And Dundee United. Awaiting the referee now, Brian McGinley. And on to a second half, and very often, Alec, when you get a situation like this with a team scoring a goal just before half-time, and indeed when you do get a goal very close to half-time, it certainly brings out the best in the side in the second half. It can be a problem. So we near the start of the second half. Rangers leading by 1-0. Ferguson, the Rangers goal scorer, poised in the line, almost as if we were starting the 1500 metres. And we're into the second half. Dodds. It's not now just ability for United, it's spirit. And do they have the character to fight back from that? Nobody has doubted their technical skill and the way they are organised. Swept away by Dawson. Redford coming in, and with a kick went back.
I think, as I was saying actually at half-time, Dundee United half-foot should be to midfield. I thought they would do that, and they've put Eamon Bannon up front now, which I think they had to do.
Goff to Sturrock, try to flip it to the side. Now Eamon Bannon in a very good position indeed, and McCloy simply watches it floating aimlessly past, and that was a disappointment. Eamon Bannon signed by United at a record fee for the club when he came back, moved back from Chelsea about 5 seasons ago for £165,000. Hegarty safely enough. McPherson, Cooper, nobody beside him. Coist. Cooper, that was a bad ball by Fraser that time. There's a superb pass for Coist. Giving it away again to Cooper. Malpas goes with him. Redford waiting for it on the outside. There he is. Decides to hold on to it. I don't know how long he had that, but that's a superb pass to Russell, and I think he was offside. He was. There's Brian McGinley giving that indication.
Yeah, I think you'll find the Rangers will be trying to feed David Cooper as much as they can possibly to get him on the ball, to give them composure, and I think he'll thrive in this because he has all the time in the world now. They have the advantage.
Bannon with the chip. Oh, I think Jim McLean would want something more positive than that out of his players for finishing, Alec.
Well, yeah, I mean, trying to chip Peter McCoy from there is climbing him out, isn't it?
Ferguson. Holt was in first. Paul Sturrock seemed to take his eye off it. John McClellan. Free kick. No hesitation. Hegarty well away. McPherson. Difficult on a day like this sometimes to judge a pass back finally. Kirkwood. Beattie to Bannon. Patterson goes with him. That's not a bad ball, and McCloy, great chance though for Beattie. He chips, and that must be no. McClellan's there, and remains very cool. What a marvellous opportunity for United to equalise.
Yeah, there it goes, a marvellous cross. And just unfortunate for Kentwood, he didn't get a good control of the ball there, but David Dodds could have. He's a bit unlucky maybe. He was stretching for it. But the significant thing, Archie, is that Bannon forward the park is for the first time in the game giving Rangers any real problem. He's now attacking Dawson, and this may bring its rewards for United. It's going to be interesting.
Well, one wonders why he didn't do it in the first place, however. That's Redford trying to go through now. Neri can't get away with it. Here's Cooper to Fraser. To Cooper. And Redford did make the run, and I think he ought to have. It's exactly what Davy Cooper had in mind for him. There's a touch, Ferguson, but watched by Hegarty. Malpass. Might have been the slightest nudge, referee didn't think so. Bannon finding Sturrock well. That's also significant. He still has it. Great position for United, and McCloy did very well. He closed it down excellently. That's good goalkeeping, Alec.
Yeah, the big man did well there. You know, I think where Paul Sturrock is now playing is where he's better suited. Coming in from the left-hand side, as opposed to the first half, is always the right-hand side after Milne went off.
Slipped by Dawson more than anything else. That's a better ball now. Sturrock. United beginning to tramp a bit. That's a better ball to Sturrock. Didi. United certainly looking better. Here's Bannon. Tries to lay to the side. John Holt with the shot. And there was offside, I think, against David Dodds. That was more like United, though, Alec.
Yeah, they've now started to get play for the first time in the game. They're really threatening Rangers now. But I think it was offside. I think David Dodds was directly in front of the goalkeeper. Well, he was in an offside position anyway. But just here again now, they're playing Stuart Beattie on the left-hand side of midfield. And he now is giving Rangers a problem. He and Bannon.
Russell, foot up, free kick. Goff. Russell done very well. Held back, I think, yes. And of course, with that one goal by Ferguson and a lot of the game left, we've only gone 9 minutes into the second half. United showing exactly what they've got in their character. Still in with a chance in a big way. Billy Kipper. Malpass. Oh. You don't often see Davy Cooper doing that in a defensive role. Holt is with them and pushing, I think, yes. Free kick. Timely tackle by Davy Cooper, with Malpass trying to wriggle round him.
You know, it's amazing what a goal can do, actually. The game is now alive, isn't it? Rangers have got a battle in their hands. United are now starting to play. Anything can happen now. But as I say, Rangers have got a great advantage of the goal.
Well, I think you get the impression that they're slightly ashamed of what happened to them in the first half, trying to prove something now. But here's Redford.
Well, simply as they want to win.
Well, that's a superb ball, Russell. Fraser fights back for it, and it's Rangers' throw. Taking his time about it. John Holt, of course, puts in a tremendous amount of work for United in midfield. Touch almost there by McCoist. He may have been offside though.
Well, it wasn't given, Archie, and I don't know if he was offside. Maurice Malpas may have put him on.
Well, that was a ball skidding through, and certainly Fraser lashed out. I don't think it was offside.
No, I don't think so.
That's a better ball. Bannon. Rangers really under pressure. Goff with a shot, and a dreadful one after that excellent build-up. Oh, Ferguson's onside. 1 against 1. Slides it in. Here's Ali McCoist with a chance, and he can't score. Here's Fraser. Well, that was a deciding chance, you know, falling to McCoist, Alec.
Well, I thought it was about 4 yards offside, to be honest with you. And
you mean Ferguson initially?
Ferguson initially, and he got away with it. But here we are, yeah, I think it was offside. But a good stop by Hamish.
Now Sturrock. This second half, so totally different from a very mediocre first half. Now it's a real game of football, and that is part of the real game of football, tackling like that. Free kick.
It's a marvellous game now. I'm enjoying this.
Gigantic figure of Peter McCloy, who has done marvels this season again for his club. And now then, let's try and work out what went through him and Bannon's mind. Perhaps he felt that Paul Sturrock would run across for it. In any case, it's a rather feckless one, and it's a goal kick.
I think I hear Watty Smith down there, Archie.
Yes. Yeah, just in case you thought it was one of the punters, that's some instructions being sent out to the field by Walter Smith. Fraser. Just a little too much. Here's Ali McCoist. Well, United are now pushing forward, not having as many players as Rangers attack them to get back. That may cause them difficulties.
One of the main differences actually at the back for United, Archie, is that they've abandoned their 3 centre-backs. They're now playing zone. And this gives them the extra dimension going forward with Richard Goff.
Goff, number 4, playing on the left. That's straight to Bobby Russell. McCoist. Here's Beattie. As Alex said, a very intelligent player. That was almost a great ball. Oh, John McClellan. I think Rangers will miss him, Alec. Oh, there's Billy Kirkwood trying to go in, and I think the referee spotted a free kick. But I think McPherson a bit too casual. I don't think there was any need for that. And
yeah, he was very, very casual.
But getting back to McClellan, if he goes, and he certainly will go, I think Rangers will miss him.
Oh yes, yeah, he's been a fine player from the last 2 or 3 years, Archie. And incidentally, talking about John McClellan, he is now playing against Eamon Bannon. And they're playing Ali Dawson actually is a free player in the back now. And this is obviously just to blunt the threat that was happening on the left-hand side of the park against them with Eamon Bannon.
Dawson, Cooper, knocked out there by Malpass again. Here's Ferguson. It's a longish one, and Beattie is there, intelligently back. Wants to go forward, Stuart Beattie. Dawson. Ronnie Ian Ferguson, of course, running in, and McAlpin has played against Dundee United so often up in the city in the local derby. Davy Neary bustling forward. Now Goff. Bannon. McClelland eyeing the ball. One nice touch by Bannon. He's looking very dangerous indeed. Great play, and it's too strong. Oh dear. It needed a more subtle touch across goal than that. It was far too hard. And again, a superb move by United, basing it on Eamon Bannon, the very player that Ali Ferguson had been saying earlier ought to have been in action more. Now watch this, Alec, as he goes through.
Well, it's superb. I mean, he takes it right to his feet, but defenders don't like that. Then he has the cheek to go on the byline, and unfortunately for United, no one there. But he's certainly causing Rangers a problem now.
Sturrock. Fraser. Good header by Neary. Bannon. Neary. Beattie rather. It's a better ball. Ferguson. Beautiful turn. Just a bit too hasty, and he may have twisted his ankle.
He got it in the knock, actually, the challenge from Hegarty.
Free kick. And certainly Ferguson is injured. As you said, Alec, earlier on, the referee in fact has kept a very good control of the game. Maybe because the players know him well. I mean, I think you get to know referees and what they're like.
I don't think Brian McGillen's the type of referee who's going to stand any nonsense, Archie. And when he wants to be the best referee in Scotland, I think he can be.
Well, he hobbles about. This is beautiful move by Bannon again. Just needed a slightly less of that dig that he did give it. Oh, but it's a free kick to Rangers. 17 minutes gone of the second half, and that's well away. Craig Patterson was charging, and it has been a sickening collision there.
That was a bad one, that, Archie.
Oh, that could feel it up here.
Oh,
that is bad.
I think Paul Hegarty's worse, Archie.
Yeah, it looks like it. Hegarty was at the side, you see, and as Patterson came in, I think we'll have a look at that, Alec.
Up.
It'll be coming up any second. We can see what this collision was. Here it is again, and forward they went, and Hegarty seemed to get it rather behind the left ear.
Yep. And the big boy Parsons got in the forehead around about there.
Physiotherapists now are much more sophisticated in their methods, Alec. They've got various things like painkillers and so on.
They've got all the machines now. They've got all the modern equipment. And they get so many various injuries, different types of injuries from when I was a player, Archie, because the speed of the game and the competitiveness of it all puts a great strain on players' limbs.
Redford to Cooper. Trying to go round the outside, and it's simply back to Hamish McAlpin. They really have looked after Cooper very well, United, today. They realised that if they could snuff Cooper out of the game, then Rangers are considerably less effective.
Well, this is true, Archie, but two of the sheer bits of class that he's produced have been special, haven't they?
That's all it's needed.
The goal for one, and the marvellous
free kick. Would you be satisfied in your own mind that it's as well leaving aside the fact that Ferguson may be injured, keeping the same players on, or go for a substitution?
I think Jock will be looking at Robert Russell just now.
McPherson, Hardin, and the booking.
Oh yes, that's... The referee's, he knows his job, he's got to stamp that out.
David McPherson.
The crazy thing is, people still argue about tackling from behind in Scotland, and you go down to England or in the continent, you don't have that type of tackle, you see, Archie.
I think the very thing that Mo Johnson was speaking about when he came back to Scotland. That's a scoreline with 20 minutes of the second half gone. Brian McGinley.
Ian Ferguson is in a bit of pain. Ian Ferguson may come off, Archie. And I see John Clark also warming up. I would imagine he'll come on as a direct substitution for David Dodds.
Well, that is Ian Ferguson, the Rangers goal scorer. Well, it would be the big Australian internationals who would come on for Rangers. However, it's a free kick and it's taken by Bannon. Patterson obviously recovered from that knock. He had to be. Goff. It's McClelland. Fraser. Cooper accepts that gratefully. Well, way down the line, but no chance of getting Ali McCoist. Strong header there by Fraser. Difficult ball for Malthus to take that. Chesney get down well. Redford to McCoist. If United fought back and got a goal and we finished the game 1 each, there is no extra time. We'd go to a replay at Hampden on Wednesday night.
I think I'd be, if I were Joe Wallace, I'd be a little bit worried actually that they seem to be sitting on their lead, Rangers, a little. They don't seem to be have the killer touch about them to chase the second goal, which is
well, Billy Kipwood picks
a dangerous thing to do.
Now Bannon gets a bit of freedom again. McClelland keeps his eye on him. Bannon's shot is not particularly effective. One wonders, though, Alec, if Rangers, under these circumstances, have got the players to provide that killer touch.
Well, I was expecting Rangers to be far more confident in the second half and start applying the ball to David Cooper to give them composure and possession of the ball. It hasn't happened for them. United have taken the game by the scruff of the neck, and they're not out of it.
That's Ian Redford who scored that remarkable late winner the last time they played in the final. Touch there by David Dodds. Back by Dawson. Try to find Ferguson. Bannon did get the touch. Up goes McPherson. More of a speculative ball there, David Dodds, and back by John McClellan. Bannon, PD, McPherson held back, but the referee waves play on. There's Davy Cooper. Turns it on a little bit and was injured in the process, but away goes Redford and offside Ferguson. By the way, Alec, I've just been handed the attendance, which is a lot better than I thought under the circumstances, because a terrible day. It's 44,698. And had it been a better day, I'm quite sure there might have been another 10,000, because it's really been dreadful in Glasgow all morning.
I think it's a credible turnout, Archie, and a dreadful day, as you say. Been easier for a lot of the United supporters to stay in the house, but they've come down, and of course Rangers have their usual turnout for the final.
That's a very good shot of it from our camera way down Hampden Park. Cooper recovered. 26 minutes of the second half gone. As Alec Ferguson said, United are still in it. Only one goal of a difference. In United second half, this Sturrock going towards that, and Dawson glad to concede the corner. Ali Dawson, whom I remember exactly 4 years ago having a sickening injury in Canada. I was there at the time. Head injury. Sturrock. Bannon. Holt. No, there'll be no threat about that finishing. That was Billy Kirkwood, the boy from Edinburgh, who's so very much a utility player. I remember Kirkwood, Alec, playing in a front row for United against you quite successfully in one of the games.
Yes, he did play up there once or twice against us. When Paul Sturrock was injured, I think. But he's more useful to United where he's playing just now.
So a throw to United. Hoist, Russell. That'll be a booking for Richard Gough. One or two United players making noises about it.
I thought he was a bit unlucky there. I didn't think that merited a booking.
Down his name goes. And this free kick, I think, will be taken by Ali Dawson. Redford goes after it. McCoy tries to get a touch. There's Redford. Bobby Russell. Fraser. Trying that chip. There's Gough. Fraser. Well, you could tell he wanted to bring Davy Cooper into it. Good play by Malpas. Brings the house down. Not a renowned tackler, Davy Cooper, but a player of great skill. Oh, there's a slip. Look at Hamish McAlpin, halfway down the field. We've seen him do that before, Alec.
Oh, he loves that. Hamish loves that, so he does. They tell me at United he plays in all the practice games outfield. He loves it.
Great play there by Cooper. Looks as if he's enjoying the game now. Russell getting into difficulties. Gough doing the right thing, going forward. Bannon. That'll be picked up by Redford. Now on the run. Ferguson. Beattie comes across. Ferguson's on his own. Redford. Bobby Russell. Cooper. Quite content to give Cooper the ball.
Actually, this is where it's going to be difficult for Dundee United. I feel now that United have given us as much as they can. I don't think they look like scoring now. And Rangers are now going to substitute Pritz for maybe Bobby Russell. I don't know. Let's see.
Go to Rangers anyway. Dawson goes up, and that is a goal kick.
Yeah, Bobby Russell's coming off.
So Russell comes off with a sign of Russell's tiredness there, I think.
Yeah, that's the factor.
Robert Pritz, the Swedish internationalist, about to come on for Bobby Russell. Pritz is a useful player. He's never really established himself at Ibrox. McPherson did keep it in. Malpas. Dodds. Here's Redford. Coy's fighting himself there. Now Redford, he was looking for Davy Cooper. There he is. Tucked in behind. No, just a bit too deep, and Dodds can't keep it in. It's McPherson. Wanted to come forward, but United closed up. Cooper, superbly done. Redford. Oh, he seemed to go the wrong way. They're so Davy Cooper orientated, Rangers. They couldn't think of any other alternative. Holt. Sturrock. Holt gets a little gap, and Pritz is there to McCloy.
Actually, I see down in the touchline, John Clark will be coming on now. And I think it'll be for Dodds. I'm certain of that.
Towering ball straight through to Hamish McAlpin. Oh, McClellan just got that. That's a free kick. That was John Holt into Fraser.
Well, actually, yeah, I think it's Kirkwood who's coming off. No, it's John Holt. Sorry, beg your pardon. John Holt's coming off. Well, that's a positive move anyway. There's so 11 minutes to go, 12 minutes to go. The withdrawn defensive midfield player to put an attacker on.
I'll just look at the watch now. Exactly 12 minutes left. There's Pritz to Fraser to Redford, and McCoys can't get it. Davy Cooper, in fact, was very annoyed about that play, lying in the open. Neri. Beattie. Clark. Here's Fraser. Dawson to Cooper. Beautifully turned round. Fritz. Drags a player towards him, into Ferguson, who can't turn. Funny you're difficult to bring the ball down, but of course all of that consumes time for Rangers. Just about 10 minutes left.
I don't think United are going to get back now, Archie. The sparkle their way, second half, sparkle has gone out of their game.
There goes Sturrock, but...
And Rangers have now got the confidence that I thought they would have shown much earlier in the second half.
Ferguson in a very good position. Cooper going to the line, I think. Good tackling there by Malpas. Cooper is not an easy man to cover. Goal kick. He stuck to his task well, Malpas.
Yes, he's done well. As well as anyone can do that situation. You know, it's man-to-man marking a player. He's young. David Cooper's got a lot of ability. He's done his job well.
Whipped away by Fraser, right out of play. Cammy Fraser's strength, the telling factor now. Another substitution imminent, that's Davy Mitchell, the Scottish boy who's played for Australia. With 9 minutes left, Ian Ferguson goes off.
I don't think he's happy with that, actually.
No, he doesn't look at all happy.
Yeah, I should accept the bet on that. It's a team game.
Well, almost sullen-looking Ferguson going off. I would have thought if they'd substituted Alec, I don't know, maybe some point.
The boy, he scored the goal. He's done quite well. I don't think he or McCoy's have been a threat to United in the afternoon. But maybe that McCoy's has been quieter than Ferguson.
Well, I would have thought so, but there we are. That's
Hamish McAlpine's turning to his supporters now, urging them to get behind him. Well, they don't have a lot of time left.
8 minutes left. Great position for United. And away by Prince. Here's Mitchell. Davy McPherson can't keep it in. That would have been a very interesting break for Rangers. And as Alex said, out of the shot of the camera, Hamish McAlpine was turning to the supporters in the terracing and trying to whip them up like a cheerleader. There's not much time left. Prince. I think John Clark. Sturrock. Throw to United. They thought it was a free kick. Now, can they fight back? Can they save this? Oh, there's David Dodge, who's dangerous in these positions. And that's a goal kick. And suddenly, as if United feel one last fling might get them there. More tangerine shots have been getting forward to try and console that rather crooked support. Malpas. Fraser.
United can't do anything about it now, Archie. I really feel the cup is on its way to Ibrox.
That's a very bold statement to make for any commentator with 7 minutes of game to go, Alex.
Well, I think you're experiencing well.
Yeah, well, certainly the feeling is there that Rangers will withstand us, but credit to United, they're still going forward.
Well, I hope I'm wrong, actually, because I could do my game on Wednesdays, you know. Coronation Street's murder.
There's another corner. Bannon will go across, and the United support are responding to this. 6 minutes left. Rangers still in the lead by that one goal. There's a lot of curl, and it's away from Richard Gough to Clark. Peedy. Billy Kirkwood to Clark. And that ends all the pressure with that atrocious pass. Well, I think that's what Alec Ferguson was getting at, the going forward, but the final ball is rather inadequate.
I think they moved by John McClellan to right back, and certainly helped the Rangers' cause.
And the Rangers support now. Rangers support are sensing the end. 4 minutes left.
Oh yeah, you know, they have been quiet most of the game too, actually. They've not been what they have now, what they're right now. But you know, I can't help but feel sorry for the losing manager on these occasions when you're watching a game. It's you get to a final and you have to, someone has to lose.
Well, you haven't lost all that many finals recently, Alec.
Oh, I know, and that's one of the reasons why we don't lose any.
Now away goes Billy Kirkwood. Fritz, good tackle by the Swede. To Mitchell, pushing away and brought down. The referee has stopped the game. It was a free kick, and a free kick to Rangers. The Rangers support in full song with only 3.5 minutes left by our watch. Up by Fraser and away by Gough. Now Bannon, seeking inspiration from somewhere. I think it's really got to be the long ball, has it not? Patterson, offside. Dawson, just beyond Mitchell, David Neary. I think the whistles are coming from the Rangers supporters, have given us some song. And now they're into the third song. Here's David Dodds and McPherson, safety first, and that was a vital pass back at this stage by the 20-year-old Rangers defender.
Well, certainly a great moment for Pierre McCoy, actually.
I think the referee...
Oh, that's controversial, isn't it? That's controversial.
He's given a free kick to United, an indirect free kick for time wasting, I think, Alec.
Well, you don't see that in Scottish League football. And the first time I've seen it is in a cup final.
Well, to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen it. Well, at least I can't recollect.
I've seen it in Europe. Yeah, I've seen it in Europe.
I've seen it in Europe, but I don't think I've seen a decision like that before.
No.
Here in Scotland. But there we are. The referee, indirect free kick. There's exactly 2 minutes left. Could that produce a situation for United to save the game? There's the shot by Clark, and that was a dreadful finish.
Archie, it wasn't the player who shot the ball's fault. The player, I think it was Bannon, gave him too hard the ball. He almost shot the ball, and there's no way he's going to keep that down.
And I think they're annoyed themselves, the United players. There's the free kick going away wide. And I think Davy Cooper has said something to the referee.
Yeah, I wonder what happened here.
Now, this is very interesting. The referees are gagged, as you know, and they're not allowed to talk about these things. But certainly it's the first time I've seen a decision like that.
Yeah, I've never seen it in a Scottish game.
And he gets booked.
a defeat.
Well, I think that if that had produced the goal, it would have been a talking point for a long, long time to come.
Well,
Cooper.
My mind immediately flashed to the fact when we played United in 1980 here, and he denied us a penalty, Brian McGinley, in the very last minute of the game.
On it goes towards Mitchell. There's Neri with him, and we're into the last minute.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
I think there will be some injury time, obviously. Dundee swept away, but the ball has gone over, and I think in fact a free kick has been given. We're now into injury time. A crescendo whistling coming from the Rangers end, anticipating the final whistle as Eamon Bannon puts that in. That's not far away from Hegarty. Will it be a corner kick? It is indeed. The linesman has given a corner. McPherson is incensed about it, but here we are.
What a finish.
Another last gasp by United. We're in injury time. 1-0 for Rangers. Could this be the last chance? It's a tempting ball. Now Bannon. There's a beautiful ball and swept away there. McClelland right in the way. The referee looked very quickly across to his linesman. Another corner. Rangers hanging grimly on to that slim lead. Bannon, it's far too wide, and Patterson might even let that go for a goal kick. And what a dreadful anticlimax for United. That crowd in there are now ready to erupt, with their eyes fixed on the referee as Peter McCloy walks back to take maybe the last goal kick of the game. Mitchell doesn't know where the ball is. There's McClelland. McPherson charging forward. Now Richard Gold.
That's it.
There it is, the final whistle. Rangers have won the 1984 Skull Cup. The scenes of joy unrestrained on the terraces. And Jock Wallace is not the kind of man you want to hug because he has a habit of breaking ribs. He's a big man, but he's into that there. The delight of the goal scorer, Ian Ferguson, number 9, right in the middle of the picture. The man who was substituted. His goal in the last second of the first half takes the cup to Ibrox.
Well, United players have accepted defeat well.
And Dougie Donnell, you saw down there, trying to snatch some interviews.
They've accepted the defeat by 1 or 2 and up to congratulate the referee.
And I think we've got Peter McCloy now.
Where were the others?
Winning was every bit as good as the first time, but it wasn't a great game today, but we won and that's all that counts. We'll maybe go from here.
Nerve-wracking towards the end, of course. United always make it difficult.
Well, we can only go the one way at the end, or a goal down. And we're just delighted to hang on at the end.
And a good time to get the winning goal just on half-time.
Yes, it was indeed, Brian.
We'll let you go and get your medal, Peter. Well done.
And so the Rangers team walk in towards the tunnel for the presentation, which is unique this time. For the first time in Scotland, we'll be having the presentation of 2 cups, the League Cup itself, and beside it the Skull Cup. And David McPherson, I think, has won the Man of the Match award, which my press colleagues were voting on in the last 5 minutes.
Well, that's an indication of how well the boy handled Sturrock, actually. He did extremely well on that job.
Well now, Craig Patterson, the Rangers captain, adorned with a supporter's scarf, and Mrs. David Latham, the wife of the president of the league, presents a cup. And John Mackenzie of the sponsor Skull, the Skull Cup, and up they go. The first trophy of the season on display at Hampden Park. Peter McCloy, 38 years of age. Cammy Fraser getting his first success in Scottish football. Dawson followed by Ian Redford, then Bobby Russell and the Irishman John McClelland, who I'm rather disappointed to say ignored the cup. Now that seems to me a quite unwarranted gesture.
I think that tells you something, actually.
And there in the rain, the Rangers support. And out come the Rangers team. They are allowed a half lap of honour round the pitch, waiting for the captain to come down to go towards the support. And I think we're going to have an interview with the captain. There he is, with Dougie Donnelly, Craig Patterson.
I think I've just set a new record as the Rangers captain that's taken a trophy the soonest after becoming captain.
Well, it's a big day for me, Dougie. You know, I've been very nervous all week being so close to just being made captain. And the Bears want trophies, and the Bears better get trophies.
How important is the support? Because I think that's the one thing United really suffer from.